In this video, I'm going to be replacing the positive crankcase ventilation hose and valves. As you can see here, the original was broken. This is the part and part number off Rock Auto if you're interested in this part. I think it was $171. So this piece is a nice rubberized hose now that replaces a corrugated plastic kind of hose that broke easily. This connection here to the secondary hose was broken, and that hose is new. It's been replaced. And the PCV valves come from the intake and go down into the engine block on bank 1, and then bank 2, same thing. And they're held in with T30 Torx screws. I had a little problem with the one was a bit rusted. I had to pick it out to get the bit in there, but it worked. It wasn't rusted. And they're not very, or they're rusted, but they're not overly tight. So once I cracked them loose, they came right out. Just gotta be careful not to drop them, because if you do, you'll never see them again. Okay, with those out, this thing needs a bit of a wiggle and maybe pry with a screwdriver, but very gently. You don't want to damage the surface underneath that it mates to. There's an O-ring that goes under there. So that one's out, and you see it just broke right off. That corrugated plastic there is just, once it gets hot for a while, it gets brittle, and that's the biggest issue with it. On the passenger side, on bank 1 here, there's a reservoir, coolant reservoir for the turbos. This is the X5 F15 4.4 liter twin turbo N63 engine. And this tank is just, it's in the way of the ventilation hose where it connects to the engine block on that side. So one screw that comes out of the way, and then there's the bracket that mounts to, and there's 3 screws on there, 2 E8 screws, so E sockets, and that's the top one that I'm loosening off there. And then the second one, it's a little harder to see, but it's not that hard to get at, and just got to take your time with. This is the one that's, you got to be careful not to drop it. And I loosened it but left it in, and then this is a T30 again, torque bit, and that's the last screw on the bracket. And so I left that one screw in there and loose with the idea of just sliding the bracket kind of out of the way, which was fine, but eventually it was driving me nuts, so I took it out completely. There's the T30, and then this thing, I'm just going to move it off to the side for now. And then you can see where the head is to the ventilation hose. And these are, again, T30s. And just like the other side, they came out uh, easily enough. Once these screws once these screws were out, it was the same thing. I had to wiggle it a bit and Didn't have to pry it, but I wiggled and it came out. This one came out maybe a little easier than the other side. And then at the top where the valve is, these clips, you see it here, they get so brittle. I didn't need to save these, but I barely touched them and they just snapped off. There's 4 of them all the way around, and I was trying not to break them just for the sake of, you know, other ones that, practice, right? In case I do need to save them. But you can see what shape this piece is in with the corrugated plastic there, came off in multiple pieces. It's ready to be replaced. With that out of the way, I've got my open ports and connectors. Everything's clean and ready to go. And this is where I started realizing it wasn't going to go as easy as I thought. So I started feeding the new line into position just to make sure that the hoses were the right lengths and everything would connect properly. And well, it didn't quite. These top connectors here didn't want to they didn't want to clip in, and I'll show you in a little bit here how much different they are than the originals. They did work though, so it wasn't a loss there. But the other end going into the engine block, they are quite a bit different. They go in quite a bit deeper, and they have a couple tabs on them, and they just would not go in. So I'll show you that here in a minute as well. I'm just fighting with it, trying to get it to go, hoping beyond hope that it'll fit, but it is not fitting. And with the little tabs on them, there is slots in the metal inside there that they should slide into. But here's the original, and you can see it's quite a bit shorter than the new part, and the new part has these plastic tabs sticking up on either side. I tried shaving them down. I tried shaving the thickness down, and then also off the sides a bit to see if they would slide in. And eventually, I just said, "I'm going for it," and I ground them right off. So I kept the length, so it still goes in deeper than the original, but it doesn't have those tabs in the way. And you've got the 2 screws there to hold the thing perfectly in place. This here does not mate to the secondary part that I have, the secondary hose on the car. They just they're completely different, and I was baffled, but eventually figured that out as well. So we'll get back to that. And then these ends here, you can see what the new one looks like, and then what the original look like, and they're quite a bit different, but they do work in the same way. So it just took a little more effort to get it to snap into place, and you don't get this nice positive snap from it, but it does click in. So that problem was resolved. Okay, so on these ends, you can see the tabs are no longer. They're still, like I said, deeper than the originals, but the tabs are gone, so they don't interfere anymore. And that worked out just lovely. And then with this end here, in my hand, I have the piece I pried off the secondary hose that attaches. And if you look at it, it's the same as the end that's on this hose. If I bring the camera up a little bit, you'll be able to see that these 2 pieces match. So once I tore that off the other one, the 2 of them go together. There's actually an O-ring on the secondary hose that this slides into. So all problems solved at this point. This one here doesn't fit as tight as it should, and I had to do a little zip tying there again to just to make sure it stays put. So you can see that piece is in place now, no problem. It slid right in. I still wiggled it a bit. It's still got some tightness to it. There's a couple O-rings on it. These guys snapped in with a little extra push. And this guy here, you can see the O-ring on there. It just goes in and out a little too easily. And then this one here is in place. Just need to put the screws in, line up the holes a little bit still, and it's good. Back in with the T30s. Just get them started by hand. Make sure that they're in place. Wiggle it a bit to get it to fall into the hole, and that's it. I don't know what the torque spec is supposed to be on these screws. All I know is they weren't super tight, and so I tightened them to probably about 10 Newton meters, something like that. I tightened them until they felt like they were as tight as they were when I took them off. That's just snug. Get one of them, get the one snug down, get the other one snug down, and then tighten them both up, just to make sure that this thing sits perfectly flat and inside the hole. There's my torque right there. That's it. Click. Okay. Get the other side taken care of. It was in place, but it wasn't tightened down yet. Okay, so that hose is installed, and then just putting the bracket back into place with the 3 screws, the T30 and the 2 E8s. The one screw that goes into the top of the reservoir, I don't think I mentioned that, but that is a T25. It was starting to get late and a little windy out. I didn't think I was going to get this finished with the issues I had, but just got her done in time. There's that T25. A little bit of cleanup. And then for this one connection that was a bit loose, I just put a little bit of gasket glue inside to sit down in the bottom and slid it back together, and then I put the zip ties on it to hold it in place, and hopefully the glue and the zip ties together keep it from moving around at all. There's not much for it to move, but this here is I tried a hose clamp on it, but it's hard plastic where I'm clamping, and the hose was too big, or the clamp was too big, so I ended up taking that back off and then went to the zip ties. So with this in mind, I would suggest to anyone that's doing this job, if you haven't done either hose, just buy both of them at the same time. Get the one that I just installed, and then that secondary hose is $70 or $80, and get them both. That way you know that they do connect, they'll fit together properly, and you won't have this issue that I'm having. Anyway, not that big of a deal. It's together. And gotta snip off the zip ties. Zip ties are like the new duct tape. Feeding the hoses back into place just so that the cover will fit on properly. Everything's got kind of a seat that they go into, so just got to make sure that they're where they're supposed to be and nothing's getting pinched. Same with the other side, just massaging the stuff in best I can, make sure that it doesn't interfere with the cover that's got to go on. Put the cover back on, and that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps someone out there, and have a good day.